Today, we will be talking about an open source AI agent called OpenWorker that got announced by Andrew NJ just yesterday. So it has been around 12 hours, and I wanted to do it live in front of you. So we will be exploring it together. This is a little different format that I'm used to. So there's going to be no script, no agenda. I'll be walking you guys through this exploration together. We will see what OpenWorker is, talk about the tech stack, and see if we can run a live demo. So that's what I have in mind for today. Without any further ado, let's jump straight into it. So this is the tweet from Andrew NJ announcing OpenWorker, and this caught my eyes. So it says this is an open source agent that doesn't just chat with you, but delivers finished work, like hand you a polished document, send a Slack message, or update a calendar entry. Ask it to prepare a customer brief, untangle your calendar, draft a report, or triage a Slack alert. It works across your files and everyday tools, produces the deliverable, and checks in before doing anything consequential. And OpenWorker runs on your Mac with Windows support coming soon. So I have Mac, so I'll be testing this out on my MacBook. And it doesn't lock you into any one model. They have this concept of bringing your own API key, and you can run whatever model you want. And they also support OLAMA, which allows you to keep your data local. And this was being built with Rohit Prasad along with Andrew NJ. And the whole idea and why they built is because they think the AI coworkers are an important way for us to get our work done. And as they say, they wanted something that will be open, privacy preserving, and model independent option. So let's open this website and see what we got in here. This one says AI that gets your everyday task done. Ask for an outcome, not just an answer. I feel that's the whole proposition, the unique thing that it is not just for chatting, but to actually get your work done. It says it works with your models and your tools. These are the model providers that are being supported. And these tools are the ones that are supported, which include Slack, Gmail, Calendar, Outlook, Notion, GitHub, and a lot of others. So if we talk about the use cases part, it could be used in sales. It could be used as an executive assistant to help you work with your email, calendar, and Slack. And then it could be also used for marketing. And the fourth use case is the ops on call. Basically, this is for people who wants to triage the alerts, draft the incident, and everything. These are the four use cases that are being mentioned. And what fits well for me, I guess, out of these use cases is the executive assistant part. Let's see how it works section. Basically, at the left side, this is us will ask a question, and then OpenWorker is going to work on our computer using any model that we have. And it will use all these tools and it will reply with a finished outcome. Yeah, it's pretty simple. The workflow is pretty simple. It's like how we talk to any agent out there. And yeah, that's pretty much about the open worker introduction. I hope by now you get a sense of what it is, what all use cases does it enable, and how it works at a brief level. Now let's check out the source code. So this is the repo. It is sitting currently at 1.9k stars, and the release that was being done, the latest one was 13 hours ago, which is version 0.1.6. And yeah, it says it's still in beta, but it's usable and it will update itself. But let us see what the tech stack looks like briefly. So as you can see here, this uses AI Suite, which is a Python library that has been built by Andrew NJ, and that is like a LLM library that allows you to use any of the models out there. So this OpenWorkers engine is built on AI Suite, that specific library. So the desktop app is basically React UI and Turi shell, and the backend is Python based, so it's running on the fast API servers. And it also has a voice input support. If you see, it mentions that it uses speech to text sidecar, which is written in Rust for voice input. So that's another good thing because I guess by now I'm used to talk to all my agents or AI through voice. I've stopped typing completely. So we will click on this download option and the DMG has been downloaded. Let's do this together. I'm setting it up live in front of you and I'm doing it for the first time because this is new. This is the welcome screen which says welcome to Open Router Beta. Pick a model provider to get started. Now we have all these different providers that we can choose from. I see Claude, OpenAI, Gemini, Ulama. DeepSeek, Minimax, Gwen, Mistral, Kimi, Grok, and a few others. I guess for this demo, I want to go ahead with the Claude, and it's asking me to give me the Anthropic API key. So I'll provide the API key and test that connection. Page, you can see the Claude has been connected. We'll click on next. Now it's asking us to connect your everyday tools, and it says it uses OAuth for 20 plus tools. This says if you see Gmail and Google Calendar are coming soon. So currently we have GitHub, Slack, Outlook, Notion, HubSpot, RTO. And as for my tech stack, since I'm self-employed, I don't use Slack or Outlook. So I think GitHub and Notion is something that I would want to connect. So you can see the Notion is connected, and I'll connect GitHub. On a side note, if you're enjoying such type of raw videos, let me know in the comments below, and make sure you subscribe to my channel. So that will motivate me to keep on creating these videos. And as you might be aware, I'm into content creation and this whole AI space for the full time. If you're a founder, or let's say if you're an individual who wants to ramp up or get started with AI, let me know. You can drop me an email. I can help you with that. And now let's move on. So as you can see, we have connected both the GitHub and Notion. We'll click on next. There are two ways to start. The first is to create your first automation, or the second way is to start working with coworker. I think we will go with the first automation here. So this is how the home page looks like. And here we are under the automation section. We can create tasks that we want to be repeated on a schedule. And it works only when the OpenWorker server is up, and anything if that's being missed, it catches up when it starts the next time. Here you can see they have given in 6 templates, and I really like how easy they have made it for users who are new to this whole setup. Like you just have to provide a model and then you write here, nothing else. So the first template is if we want to do on GitHub Digest, if I want to see the PRs that are merged, maybe post it to my team Slack. And then there's a morning briefing, get briefed about anything. And this is very similar to how I ask my Hermes agent to provide me brief in the morning about what's trending in the AI and tech space. And then, yeah, there are folder cleanup and other tasks. Let's start with the morning brief one. Every day at 8 a.m. This is the instruction. Search the web for the most important technology and world news from the last 24 hours and write a concise 5-bullet briefing saved as a markdown file. So let's just run it live and see what we get. So you can change the model from here, whichever Claude model you want to use. Let this work in here. And in the meantime, I'll look around what else we have. So this is the connectors part. These are basically apps and tools that your coworkers can use. So these are the 3 that we have connected, and these are the ones that are available. It includes Telegram, Slack, Gmail, and various others. And this is the MCP server section. So we can add in MCP servers if you want. So by default, they have given the granular one, which is for the meeting notes. Yeah, it's super cool. It's very similar to how we have all these connectors and MCP servers in Claude or Codex. And in the setting page, let's change the theme to dark. I'll say open at login. I quickly want to do the voice input part. So let's download this model in the meantime. If we come back to the automation section, we can see it gave us a brief already. It is talking about world news that has been going on. It says OpenAI says its AI carried out an unprecedented autonomous hack. This is the one from Hugging Face that was trending maybe yesterday, I guess. And then, so this is how the automations will look like. I guess I get tweak this automation to my style, as in my case, I'm not interested about what's happening in the world, but I'm more interested about what's happening in the AI space, because that will give me ideas. That will basically give me ideas about where the space is heading and what sort of content I can create. So yeah, basically you can play around with the automations. That's the whole idea. Now, if we go to the voice input, okay, so the whisper base has been downloaded. So we have enabled the voice input, so I can just speak to it, talk to it instead of typing. Let's create a new session in here. This is what they're calling the coworker part. You can pick a task that we want to do. It's like analyze the files in a directory. So I can pick a folder. As you saw, there was this option to give it write permissions. I've not given it the right permissions. I just wanted to read and summarize things for me. So you can see on the right side, the progress bar, and you see this repo that I gave it access to, that is read only. It has created a temporary space, which is read and write. So it's asking me permission before running a command. So I'll say always allow this command. This also an option to change the permissions from ask for approval, which is what is happening right now. It's asking me for approval for every edit. So I can either give it full access or I can discuss. So for now, let's give it full access because I want to see the result. And this mic that you see right here, that is the voice mode. We can click on the mic and just dictate what you want to do. I'll say the desktop app looks clean, as in they've provided the automations at the top, the new session, things that basically matter for anybody. It's not cluttered a lot. And I kind of like it from the UX point of view. It's clean, it's minimal. There's not a lot of things going on. There's not a different tabs for everything. Yeah, it basically gave me a summary. That's the whole idea. This is still day one. It's less than 24 hours since this has been launched, so it's pretty new. And I just want to play around it for, let's say, a couple of weeks and then see what sort of things I can offload, what task it can do for me well, and where it requires hand holding. So I'll say a lot of fun experiment to be done using OpenWorker. And if you want a second part where I will be sharing my learnings after having played around with OpenWorker for some time, let me know in the comments below. And yeah, now at last, I just want to walk you guys through GitHub issues because this is open source. People will be encountering issues. So that is just for us to help us stay grounded and let us know, okay, this is still a piece of code that is work in progress. It is still evolving with time. So let's see that. And if you go to issues, you can see in here, I think somebody also says that the OpenAI compatible API is not working for them locally, like somebody tried with Olama. So I guess some of these issues are expected. That's how open source works. Things may not be working for some people, and it's still new. People are still figuring out. And it seems there are some course related issues as well. And it says the sidecar API has no authentication. So pretty interesting. And if you notice something which is not working in OpenWorker, I would recommend you guys to check the issues that are already raised, and if something is new, then raise it yourself. If you can maybe fix it, it's like an open source contribution, like giving back to the community. So I'll keep an eye on the issues and see how I can help OpenWorker in improving with time. I guess that's what I've done for Hermes agent as well. Now is the time to share my final thoughts. And if we take a look at the Andrew's Twitter post, you will see every comment talking about how is it different than Hermes agent, or how is it different from openclaw. That's what every comment is talking about. And I guess people are just assuming because it's an agent, people are assuming it's close to Hermes or it's close to openclaw. But I disagree with it. Instead, what I felt is this open worker is much more closer to Claude cowork or ChatGPT work. I can consider this to be like an open source version of Claude cowork or ChatGPT work because the code is in open source. And the other benefit that I see here is this is model agnostic, as in the Claude and the OpenAI case, I'm tied to use their specific models. But here, this is model agnostic. You can plug in any model that you want. You can even use local models out there. So that's another plus point that I see. And I feel it's towards that direction where you have a task and you want to complete it. So you give it to OpenWorker. And one more interesting thing, or one more thing that I want to experiment with in coming days, it is promising that it's reliable when it comes to task execution. Another differentiator from Cloud Cowork or ChatGPT work is that the OpenWorker is focusing more on privacy because when you download the desktop app, it doesn't ask you to create an account or sign up. It's just using your OAuth for connecting all the connectors and tools, but that is different, right? So it's not like they have access to your data, which is the case with OpenAI and Anthropic. So that's another angle to look at it. It's truly open and it focuses on privacy. And as the name suggests, Open Worker, it's very clear that it is focusing on the working side, on the aspect other than coding, on doing tasks that I would want to do every day on my laptop rather than coding. And if you ask me why I'm not considering it similar to Hermes or OpenClaw, it's because the Hermes agent is having its own personality, right? It's having its own identity. But that's not the case here. And the second thing is all these Hermes and OpenClaw is something that you can access via mobile phone. It's like a personal assistant, right? You open your phone, you open your WhatsApp or Telegram, and then you text them. It feels like that. But in this case, since it's meant to be a desktop app, it's something which is not so handy when it comes to mobile. So that's why it fits very closely to a competitor of Claude Cowork or ChatGPT work. it's pretty cool because I think this is one of the first kind of those applications that are being built in the open source space. What makes me so happy that we are heading in that direction. So that's what my thoughts are. I would love for you to try this out and let me know what your experience has been in the comments below. Okay. So this is what I have for you in this one. I hope it was interesting. And if you want the part two, let me know in the comments below. And if you have a Mac, download it and try it out yourself. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.